You want 2K rumors and news, you in the right place. Want a community that's cool, you in the right space. You want tips, subscribe now and ring the bell. Then go to the park and give them hell. The Boot Squad is an organization with all winners. Soldiers up in formation, we all killers. And when you step on the court, yo, you're our dinner. When I play D in the fourth, yo, Kawhi Leonard.
Boy, brutal, Sim on the scene, wicked and mean with a next video for y'all, man. So y'all know what it is by now. Take some time out, bless up your boy, like up the video, definitely help the channel out, because you know boy gonna always keep you up to date on everything in the 2K community. You know we gotta start the video off the right way by giving a huge shout out to the Brew Squad. Anyone y'all got a notification bell unlocked and come through the comment section and type first, second, third, Naughty Gang or Brew Squad, I gotta put y'all up there just to show y'all some love, y'all. Much love, much respect. Now we got a lot of information to unpack here today, man. Shout out to the SAR. He's actually an NBA2K developer that giving us a nice view under the hood, man, from a developer standpoint. And he's actually putting out some information or clearing up some information that's out there. Now, again, let me start off this video by saying no disrespect to the SAR, will be entertained on this channel. He already did a previous live stream and he put a lot of work, and this is something he don't have to do, to kind of clear up a lot of the stuff that we don't understand that are put out in a lot of these reports from 2K. And one thing he's talking about in this live stream is on the defensive end. He's talking about bump ups. Now before he started off, he wanted to clear up something that he said in the previous live stream when he spoke about adrenaline being on both the defensive and the offensive end. Y'all check this out.
And I think I mentioned talking about it on the defensive side. For right now, let me clean that up. Right now, adrenaline is only on offense, but we are considering some different options, and so that may change by the time the game, you guys actually get your hands on the game. But as of right now, today, adrenaline is just for offense. Defense, you do have the stamina bar, and you can see right now the adrenaline buttons on defense, but they don't drain. But again, that could change. Guys are still tuning in and talking and receiving feedback and making decisions.
I'd say it's not gonna be like this, but he's saying as of now it's only on offense. But if you're in the 2K community, you should already know that the version they got right now is not the version that we will have at launch, and the version we have at launch is not the version we're gonna have a month or 2 months in the cycle of the game. 2K is basically like a living, breathing game that's always adjusting and evolve over time, y'all. So it's understandable. It's understandable how this would evolve or will be added in, you know, sometime down the road, or maybe by launch, man. But anyways, let's get to the main info. Now, what he spoke about is how we use bump ups in previous 2Ks, including NBA 2K22, y'all. He spoke as if it was overpowered, to be honest with y'all, but they did make some adjustments to that whole bump up system, y'all. Check this out.
All right, so one of the changes that we want to make with the body ups is looking at today's NBA game. You know, this is not the 90s, you know, it's not the 80s, 90s where you could really hand check and box somebody up more so in a one-on-one defensive situation, right? And so what we wanted to do was look at how the body ups function. And what we found is that a lot of our users use the body ups as a crutch, right? The badge their players up or whatever, or if you're playing 5-on-5 with the NBA players, find somebody who's got good badges, and then you'll just constantly run into the offensive player and wait for the body up to happen, right? And today's NBA game is not about aggressive defenders, right? Because you don't have that hand check as a weapon. Really, it's about playing position. And today's game has more of a flow to it in terms of players driving to the basket. You really can't keep anybody out the paint. Because you can't lay a hand on them, right? And so we wanted to create more of a flow with our body up system. So in the past, as you can see, number 5 here, Paxson, right? In the past, we had a very wide window to be considered driving right at the defense. So it really rewarded everybody on defense to just stay as close to the dribbler as you possibly could, right? Because you're going to get a body up and it's going it's going to save you in most instances. And a lot of people think, well, hey man, that's great defense. I'm locking you up. Really, the body up is doing most of the work. And what we found is that the angle that we had here was super wide for the offensive player to be considered driving directly into the defense. And so what we did this year, if you can imagine 45 degrees on this side and 45 degrees on that side, right? Maybe even out to 50 degrees. If you pointed your stick in any of those directions, you were considered running into the defense, which means that the body ups were overpowered, right? So what we did was we narrowed that window, all right? And the size of the window can change, so I'm not going to give you an exact number, but it's much smaller than what it used to be. And so what that means is as an offensive player, if I give you a little move left, right, left, correct, and then I shoot off right over here, that's no longer considered pointing my stick directly at you. Whereas in the past, it was. So you were guaranteed to get a body up there if you were just in decent position and you have decent ratings and you got decent reaction skills. Well, this year, that's not going to be the case. All right. And then when you add on top of that, the defensive shading, yes, you get a bonus if I ran directly into your chest, right? But that window area is smaller now. So as a defender, if you want to block that front lane and get the bonus that comes with being in the shaded position, in the position where the offensive player is moving or trying to drive, right? Your ability to use the left stick and to use your defensive skills to stay in that spot, it's really going to be tested. Because if I, as number 5, now point my stick right over here, right, and I use one of my adrenaline bars, you're going to get beat.
Now, this is an interesting adjustment. In NBA 2K22, of course, you know you got to make that sharp angle turn and go all the way around. But based on the player, man, I think this is going to be based off abilities as well, man. A lot of people going to be getting killed, especially if they don't have their chest or body straight in front of someone, man, which is really important. Now, he did separate the difference between intention and implementation, y'all. Check this out.
So that's the thing. You have hopefully how this works. You know, as a dev, you put things in and you have certain intentions, but the implementation or how people use that may turn out to be different, especially in a competitive environment.
To be honest, I think it was very important that he did that. Understand that the devs might plan on something going a certain way, but whenever it gets to the 2K community, man, you all know how we do this. You all know when we create these My Career builds, it changed the game completely. All right, now he did speak about the way we get a lot of bumps in this 2K and how we run up on people and the advantage we have. And me personally, as a point guard, I know and I understood very early that the people that give me the most trouble when I'm on the offensive end are defensive builds that know how to run up on me and basically give me no room to move left or right. So whenever they run up on me and smother me, they will get a lot of bumps and it will be very frustrating. Now, when I'm on the defensive end, that's the same thing I did. I will run up on guards and take away all the room. That strategy won't work in NBA 2K23, y'all. Check this out.
Intention was, if you're playing real basketball and you're out here at 35, 40 feet, right? As a defender, this is dangerous area for you. In our game, it wasn't dangerous at all because the closer you got, the more body ups you got, right? And as an offensive player, in order to beat that, you had to like damn near point your stick to the baseline. I mean, to the sidelines to get out of that. But now that's much tighter. And so I wanted to do this video to talk about it because I think when the game first comes out, people who are used to just running into the ball and getting body ups are going to start sliding off. And I don't want you guys to think, oh, you know, the game's broken or, oh, you know, I'm not playing great defense. If you're bodying up, right? Let's say we get into this situation, right? Your strength is that I can't go straight, right? But you don't have no strength over here unless you stick match me. And you don't have any strength over here unless you stick match me. Sorry, I'm trying to put it between them. Right? So body ups are not the all-encompassing strength that they used to be. Your best defensive position is going to be to stay in front, right? And to try to anticipate where he wants to go and get your chest in that position. and not just smash body up all the way down the floor.
I do not know how to feel this yet, y'all, because I used to abuse that method defensively. And one thing that we suffer from is that muscle memory. But again, I always approach the next 2K with a blank slate, willing to learn the advantages and the spacing and whatever to use to my benefit. Now, one thing he did actually say, that he's not saying that someone won't be able to create a build that would be effective outside of those parameters, y'all. Check this out.
One thing that I can't guarantee you today is that somebody will find a build where they get more body ups than we intended, right? That might be the case, but they still got to match your stick direction, and they still have to match you ability-wise also.
And I thought that was important that he mentioned that, because you already know what it is, man. When we start using certain combinations and we start creating them with certain attributes, come on, my G, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. And badges, I think, greatly impacts how effective you are when it comes to the defensive end and the offensive end as well. So whatever he's saying, remember, this is a developer, a sim head developer as well. So when he tests out certain things or plays certain things from a sim perspective, this is something I think you got to understand when it comes to the SAR and when he's speaking on these things. This is not saying it won't fully or won't translate well to the park or the rec, but you gotta kind of take it with a grain of salt at the same time, right? Now, once again, he did emphasize on the importance of positioning, man. Check this out.
So the body ups are not the catch-all that they used to be, and you want to be aware of that and try to play more position. If you find yourself getting your doors blown off really consistently, that's something that you want to watch. Are you playing the angles correctly? Are you gapping guys who can't shoot enough, and are you beating them to the spot, right? So in the old 2K right here, you just run up on him, get the body up till he picks up the ball, right? But if you try that in 23, as it's currently tuned, what will end up happening is a smart offensive player will change the direction he's using his left stick, and you will get blown past, like you'll just slide back off of him here. All right.
So basically, you got to have that stick skills. That stick skills is going to stand out on the defensive end as well in NBA 2K23. And that is going to be crazy. Now, the next thing he spoke about is the abilities of a player is very important. Check this out.
With the body ups that we looked at is we made your skill, the ability of the players more important than it used to be, right? So before, your position was kind of the main thing that made the determination. But now we really look at the ability of the player. So let's say if Jordan has a clamp breaker and the guy defending him does not have clamp breaker, and Jordan is better in every other area concerning dribbling, you're not going to want to be up here pressuring him. He's going to eat your lunch. You're just going to get beat. You're probably going to get beat bad. So keep that in mind when you're looking and you're trying to give us feedback in terms of, well, I think, the offense is too powerful, this, that, the other thing. Are you just, as a defender, just sprinting into the defense expecting good results? Right? So these are just some things that you want to consider. I know it only got a line or two in the blog, but this is a pretty significant change. Again, as it stands today, these things can change, numbers can be adjusted. But as it stands today, the key to playing good defense right now is to play position and then be there to challenge the shot.
And matchups will be a big part of NBA 2K23. So basically, if you want some advantage on a certain player, you might have to run certain things to give you an advantage over said player. For example, if you got a lot on you, call a screen on a big, you might get a speed advantage, or call a screen on a smaller guard, you might be able to use your strength over that build. So matchups will be a huge factor, from my opinion, from what I've been hearing in NBA 2K23. Now, he actually says something that leads me to believe that strength is going to be really important. Oh, check this out.
Calculations are very advanced. They consider a plethora of things. It's not just a dice roll and you get to go, or we just look at one or two things. So one of the things you want to be aware of, if you're a player with great strength, right? Then you don't want to spend your time turboing left, right, trying to go around somebody. If you have great strength and you got a strength advantage, you want to come right off of his shoulder, because we use different calculations when you're driving at a defender than we do when you're driving around a defender. All right, so you got a LeBron type build, you got anybody who's got a power game, they got enough handle on the perimeter. You want to take sharper angles going to the basket because it's going to factor in your strength. And a lot of times you probably just, muscle them right out the way, especially if people like to cheese and not give their builds no strength.
References all of these things by saying this is from the perspective of a sim head. Now, he is a 2K developer, but he is a sim head, so he approached the game as such. He doesn't approach it as a cheeser that goes to the park and the wreck all day and find out all the exploits and all of that stuff. He is a sim head, so you approach it and plays the game how it's supposed to be played. And not just that, man, he is actually specialized in the AI department in 2K. Now, again, a lot of stuff that we find out in the rec or in the park is beyond what he could anticipate. But at the same time, this is how the game was meant to play, right? Which is very important. I just wanted to preference that by saying all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? I just want to clear some stuff up. The next thing someone actually asked him was why they can't get the defensive movement in the game right after all these years, y'all. Check out what he had to say.
One thing that it's helpful to understand is that defense has to be concerned with facing. When you're on offense, you don't have to worry about your facing so much, right? You just plant and go. Defensively, are you facing your man? Are you facing help? Are you in the deny stance? And the change of direction has to affect your spacing sometimes, right? And so people don't mind sliding around on offense because it gives them an advantage, but they don't want to slide around defensively, right? They want foot planting. Well, that's unbalanced. If you slide around on offense, you got to be sliding around on defense too, right? So slowly but surely we've improved our defensive movement, but defensive movement is much harder than offensive movement. That's why it's been a little bit behind the offense. Offense is not concerned with his facing at all. He just got to go, right? So having said all that, I think our movement is the best it's been in 2K23. I think you guys will find that. And right now, another thing I'd like to talk about with that is that's why it's so dangerous when we release the game for people to come out and be like, yo, we want the dribblers faster. If you want faster dribbles and faster launches and faster all this other stuff, you don't want a balanced game. I mean, you don't have to be Einstein to know that it takes a lot for the defense to keep up. So if we release the game and the defense is keeping up and y'all like, we want the dribblers faster, you're basically asking, and I understand the ask, right? But if everything doesn't get faster with it, then you're just asking for exploits, essentially.
Now, this is why I appreciate that he do these videos, man, because I never looked at it that way. And to be quite honest with y'all, I understand exactly what he means when he spoke about it there. I understand exactly what he means. To be honest with y'all, if someone is sliding off on offense, that's a glitchy move. We love those. But on defense, not that good, man. Come on, 2K, get your stuff right. So I understand when he says all that. Again, I think it's important for me to mention that this is what he's speaking about right now is the game as of now in their hands, and is not necessarily the final version of the game that we're gonna get at launch. All right, so that's all I got for y'all, man. Shout out to the SAR. Appreciate the information, appreciate the time that you take to kind of give us a little glimpse under the hood from a developer's standpoint, man. It definitely helped clear a lot of stuff up, and I'm excited, y'all. I know this is kind of, you shouldn't be saying that, but I'm excited to get my hands on this new game, on this new system, with this new feel. It seemed like y'all going through a lot to change how the game is being played, and y'all taking a step from what I'm saying. Now again, I understand that they do get a lot of feedback from content creators, and that might affect the product in the long run, but what I'm seeing y'all putting out so far is looking really good, and I am excited, y'all. But anyways, man, just a quick update for y'all. Let me know what y'all think about the information, and make sure if you got some more time, check out my last video, or the last one I did on the SAR. He actually spoke about movement, the adrenaline bar, and a lot of important stuff he broke down for us that was released in the courtside report. He actually clarified a bunch of stuff for us. It's a great view. Just click at the top right, the drop down will be there. Check out the video. A lot of people is enjoying it. And if you got some more time as well, if you're on TikTok, make sure follow my TikTok. The link will be in the description. Have a blessed one. Until next time, be safe out there, y'all. Peace.